This is a reading video for a certain scientific Railgun episode 10, 11, and 12, a 3-episode reaction. Plus, we got to see the little ending, special ending, whatever, at the end of 12, because it's like a little special ending, because it's a continuation of the story into the ending kind of thing. Anyways, click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction, and then come back here to see my full thoughts, theories about these episodes and what's to come, all that good stuff. So click away now, or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so cool group episodes. I really did like it a lot. I do really want to know what you guys' thoughts are on me stopping the video mid, like my reaction, like I did in this reaction, and talked about what I was thinking, kind of thing, because I've kind of talked throughout episodes before about my theory, or just kind of like briefly was like, I wonder if it's like this, and then just kept watching, kind of thing. Never really went into much detail. So I'm trying something new, and some people might find it annoying me keeping stopping the video, whatever like that. But I really do want to know what you guys think about it. So let me know down below if you guys enjoy me like stop pausing the video for a second just to like give my thoughts real quick and then go into it. Like, I wasn't pausing it for like entire minutes on time. It was just like maybe at max maybe a minute or two. Like, it wasn't. I don't even think it was a minute. Like, I think I was just talking like pretty briefly. I was talking pretty quick too, just to get it out there real quick, and then I pressed it real quick. Maybe a minute and a half. I would probably assume one of those pause breaks. Anyways, hopefully, well, my goal is to not sit there for like half an hour on one theory. It's just I want to get my entire thought process out, and then continue the video to see if that comes up, if it comes about, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Like, so, like, for instance, we learned more about the backstory of the scientist girl, or I should say, no, yeah, we learned more about the level upper, and how she's using all of the subjects for her own computer, basically. I paused it around that point, or in that general area, and I talked about what I was thinking about in terms of that, and then I continued on, kind of thing. So it wasn't a long break, it wasn't a long pause or anything like that. But that's my goal, is to kind of just break for like a second, tell my entire thoughts, and then continue, kind of thing. Because there are times in anime where I think of something that is like really cool, kind of thing, like a real cool theory, and then I may mention it like maybe one or two words of the theory, like, oh, I wonder if this happens, and then it happens, kind of thing. So, in my mind, like, I'm like, sweet, I was right, kind of thing, or something like that, or something like that. But like, for you guys, all you guys hear is me going like, I wonder if this is a thing, and then later on it happens, and I'm like, I'm right, and like, in reality, to you guys, you're probably like, you were right, or or something like that. But in my mind, there was a lot more to my theory. I just said like a couple words of it, just to kind of speed things up. But if I actually just sit there and like explain, maybe you guys can understand what I'm thinking more. Anyways, that's just something I wanted to know from you guys, if you guys like that sort of thing, or if you want me to stop it or leave it for redirects, or whatever, or leave it till after the episode, between episodes, kind of thing. I can do that too as well, or between the skip points, like skipping the intro. I can do it there as well. Anyways, these episodes are really cool. I really did like it a lot. It was basically the conclusion of the level upper, because it's like we've been on the level upper since like episode like 5, well, maybe 5. I think it's been like that long. I think it's like level 5 when we first started seeing the level upper kind of pop up. Maybe even just episode 1, because we fought some people previously I don't think episode 1, but like it's around episode 3 or something like that, where like we were fighting people that were taken into custody, and then later on it was revealed that they went into coma state. So that means they used the level upper, like the one girl who was invisible, or who like messed with your perception or whatever, um, who was jealous of all the academy girls or whatever. And then there was a couple other bullies and everything that we fought over the course of a couple episodes, or a episode, whatever. Nothing really like too like Dragon Ball Z kind of like multi-episode battle kind of thing, but like this episode 11 and 12 were pretty much a continuation on itself. We had a cool battle with the scientist lady, um, which I thought was really cool. Like her actually using the abilities of all the people in her control. And I wanted to see more. He's like, I love superpowers, so I wanted to see more superpowers. We saw like a bubble shield kind of thing. We saw water, air, and probably a host of other abilities. Because I doubt there's a single ability that can cut a perfect cylinder into a wall, take it out, and like launch it forward. I doubt that's one ability. I bet you the cut was one ability, the pulling out was one ability, and then like the chuck was like another ability kind of thing, or like an additional ability kind of thing. So I bet she was using multiple abilities to her advantage to create these like super power kind of stuff, like the water, for instance, like that could have been like, anti-gravity or something like that, to make the water not like just fall apart. It was just like all in one kind of cone going forward, or not cone, but like a big pillar going forward, like smashing into the tank or whatever, not tank, APC. But the big explosion thing that happened, like that decimated the highway and everything, like perfect like sphere kind of thing when it was cut out of it. Um, that was pretty nuts. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. The whole baby thing coming in, like I didn't expect that to happen. I expected her to maybe, or I expected that to be like almost tied to her, like tethered to her, I should say, because there was the baby had like tendrils behind it when it was first like coming out. So I thought the tentacles or tendrils or whatever were like tethered to the lady, like in her back or whatever. So I thought it was going to be coming from her. Like it was almost like the power's gone rogue. That in my mind, that was what was happening. Like, and it was happening. But like I was thinking it wasn't creating like an entirely new um being, kind of thing. It was just controlling her body in a way. Like the powers gained control and were like trying to control the girl when she was like passed out or whatever, or lost control or whatever. She couldn't control the powers anymore. So the powers took it upon themselves to take control of her body for her. That was what I was thinking was going to happen. But then it turned to having all 10,000 people end up having the collective control over this baby thing. It was really crazy that, like, okay, so I think the baby also had the powers of all 10,000, because there was like regenerative abilities, um, and the whole like exploding light stuff that was coming out of the halo. Not the halo, but the top. It was like being formed up here, and it was like launched out kind of thing. Artillery shells or whatever. Had that. There was that tentacle with the eyeball with the little hands that came out, that was like exploding the ground like wherever it was touching. So had that. We saw the instance with the scientist lady when she was actually fighting um, uh, Mikasa. Mikasa. She was using the ability of the Mad Bomber, the aluminum cans and everything, like launching them out. Like once like she launched the cans out, I was like, oh snap! Like because she has the ability. But yeah, Mikasa already had that train of thought and was already shooting lightning to go like explode all the cans, but missed one. So apparently, there's another teleporter in the mix that's not Kuroko. So that's interesting because that means there's a different person out there that was doing the level upper that gained the ability to teleportation. So that's pretty interesting. Also, it sucks that Satin uh, doesn't get to keep her like level 1 status or or whatever. I don't even think she was level 1. I was just like she doesn't get to keep her ability. Um, I I'm wondering if she will never gain an ability, or like if that was because one of my theories, I think the last episode, last redirect when I talked about this, um, I was theorizing that if she did lose it, at least she gets to know that she has one, right? Like that's like the big thing. Like she has a gift, a Esper ability, but she just has to train to get it back again, kind of thing. So I think that's what's mainly, or hopefully that's what's going through her head right now, is in her mind she has one. She just has to build up the strength to actually use it again, like consciously, kind of thing. Because the level upper basically melded all the brains together, and the collective network made it so your powers became stronger. So it stands to reason that they lost the powers because like they're not connected to the network anymore. So they can't tap into everybody's abilities to make their abilities stronger. So that makes sense. That makes sense that she can't do it anymore. But like I said, it gives her a sneak peek at what she could be capable of. Like she could get this like ability. She was doing like the like, this wind tunnel like thing with leaves. So I'm still wondering if that is wind, or if is it like just like a field that she could created and the plants were revolving around it, or was that controlling nature itself? Um, I mean, there could be a host of things that can be really. Um, like a gravity field kind of thing, like it's just like a little thing in her hand. Host of things. I mean, they didn't really touch on anything other than she could do that. Like she was doing this, and like those leaves like flying around in her hands, and she was like "ooh" kind of thing. Um, it looked like two of her friends had this same ability. Um, there was two friends that one that was there was one who first passed out. But there's two friends that had the ability to levitate. So they both had their hands up like levitating like big objects. Um, and we're not sure about the third friend. I don't think I wasn't paying attention to her. I wasn't sure if she was doing something on the side or something like that, or like something um, that we didn't get to see. But I hope Satin does get her ability at some point. Even just a hint, right? Just like one hand, like a little tiny like small like twister, or just like just a little tiny thing she can put in her hand. She's like, oh, look at that, kind of thing. So I hope at one point she gets it because she does deserve it. All of them do. All the kids in the city do. But it sucks that the city is experimenting on them. That was one big like bombshell that I didn't see coming. Um, because up until now it was just like it's school, kind of thing. Like they're learning to control their abilities. Um, but apparently the first kids that came there, I'm not sure if all they obviously not all the kids are like this, but um, the at least like the first batch of kids, they were abandoned. They were orphans or whatever. So they no the parents didn't want them anymore, so they left them in Academy City so that way they can live their life there. Whether that be the parents didn't want an Esper kid, so they abandoned them, were too scared of the kid, so they abandoned him, or whatever, something like that. Um, and the city took upon themselves to raise them, build them up, and then experiment on them, basically. They were trying to mess with the field that all espers have, to try to push it to its limit to see what the limit is, and it went horribly wrong. And all the kids are now kind of in a coma state. It seems like that's what the research lady was talking about. So there might be hope for them. Hopefully, there is. Um, you would think there's some kind of Esper somewhere that has the ability to like heal, in a way. Just like put their hands on them and like some kind of skin transfer thing, whatever, can like secrete some kind of thing in their hand to like speed up their metabolism or speed up their not metabolism, but like their blood circulation and like kind of thing, like heal them, um, something like that. Or maybe Toma can go in there and just put his hand, and they're like, "We're awake," something like that. Um, so yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen next for sure in the show, because like I said in the reaction, this was like the end of like an arc. Like this was like we got the finale of the level upper arc. Um, so that's pretty cool. It's cool that it's like completed, right? Like we saw the beginning and middle of end of the level upper arc. It was super like out of my area. That was like I did not expect the research lady at all. Like one bit. I did not expect her one bit. Um, I thought she was cool. I mean, she is cool. She is a cool character. But I didn't expect her to be like the one running this, right? Like when because we up until now it's been like this like evil thing, right? Like the level uppers are like, oh, you're gonna die, or whatever, you're gonna get hurt, or whatever. So it was always like this kind of big evil thing that was happening. So when we find out with her, it was like, what? Like I didn't think she was capable of that, but then we learned later on the level upper is just it not evil. It's just a little bit like um unethical, or whatever. It's just like it uses kids as computing basically. But luckily there was a way to reverse it like very easily that she created as well. So there was a backup plan. So that was one thing that I'm sure she did not want to do. She didn't want to kill anybody. She didn't want to harm anybody or whatever like that. I'm sure those people on the bridge are fine. I'm sure she didn't kill anybody. Just hurt, pushed aside, something like that, just to get them out of the way. So that way they're not any more of a nuisance to her, kind of thing. I'm sure she didn't kill anybody, because that's the least she wants to do. Because she effectively almost killed the kids that she was dealing with like the little kids. So I'm sure she doesn't want that happened again on her hands, anyways. So yeah, some cool character stuff happening. I'm glad we had some backstory for her too. It's actually pretty interesting that uh, uh, Mikasa was able to tap into her memory like with her ability. That was pretty interesting because like I, I thought originally that her power, the scientist, was telepathy. So I thought maybe the telepathy and the lightning kind of mixed and like it transferred, kind of thing. But apparently the scientist never had ability. That was just like her network or whatever. And I'm sure that's what the eye thing, when her eye went blood red. I'm sure that was the network activating to her. So she became like the prime, or whatever, prime computer. So that's when everyone linked to her, was when her eye went red. So it's cool stuff is happening. What I want to know is, did they really have 10,000 beds in that entire city dedicated to people in comas? Like, damn. They must have like a huge hospital building, or like a network of buildings like to house all those people. Um, Anyways, if there's anything I missed in these episodes that you would like me to talk about, leave a comment down below, and I will let you know what I think about that topic. I think I've covered everything major, at least. I'm super excited to see more. I'm not sure what next week's we're gonna do for next week. Crow hasn't given me the list yet, so expect at least three or four, maybe more. Depends on what's up next. I'm not sure if we're going to go back to Index or keep with Railgun for a couple more episodes. No idea. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And like I said at the beginning, let me know if you guys liked me stopping the video to explain theories and then continuing. Like I said, it's a bit new, because I think I did it once or twice before, but like it wasn't really like something I normally do. So I'm experimenting. Hence, Railgun. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Railgun. Take care, buddy.